Hello everyone, we will be approaching now another important block in building and creating trust in teams, which is purpose. How to establish purpose and vision in the teams that you manage. We went over creating psychological safety in the teams. We then discussed about vulnerability, and we understand how safety and vulnerability go hand in hand and precede trust, create the prerequisite for trust. Now we will be discussing about purpose. But what's purpose? Purpose is the capacity and the responsibility of the leader to be able to link the present moment to a desirable and probable future. And how do you do that? I want to share with you a simple 3-step process. You want to discuss with your team individually or as a group. First of all, here is where we are. Secondly, there is where we want to go, and I'll show and explain how. Third, I'll tell you a story about it. So purpose and vision go hand in hand with motivation. Some people, some technical coaches, some leaders think that motivation is a possession, is something that a resource, whether you have it or you don't have it. Actually, I disagree with that. I think that with this 3-step process, you can have people move. You can create energy. You can create movement and drive the desired behaviors. But then how do we establish purpose? How do we establish a strong vision in your team? Bear with me and I'll tell you all about it. I have 5 tips for you I want to share, the most interesting ones to establish purpose. Present-future link, we touched upon it briefly. You want to reiterate the idea to your team that if this happened, most likely this is what we will get in the future. If we don't do this, most likely this is what we will achieve. It seems simple, but the devil is in the details. Few leaders do it consistently. Don't underestimate the attraction that people have for the future and how risk-averse people are. They want to know what is going to happen after they make an effort. Second tip, storytelling. The power of storytelling. The deep neurological truth, as stated by Daniel Coyle in The Culture Code, a book that I like so much, is that storytelling triggers a cascade of motivation in people, and motivation drives behaviors. So you want to have with you an arsenal of stories. Stories are gonna light up your people brains like a Las Vegas casinos. You want to use metaphor, stories from other team, picking stories from the sports environment. Make up your own stories, but you want to motivate and move your people with an arsenal of stories. Fourth approach, clear expectations. It's a simple concept. Coaching is simplicity. The point is that I want to make sure as a leader that you actually apply this simple concept. Over-communicate your expectation. So many teams I meet are not clear on what you expect from them and which direction they should go. So you want to over-communicate, and here are some tips for communicating expectation. First of all, repeating it. Don't be shy, don't be lazy. Repeat it over and over again. Like the Roman used to say, repetita iuvant. Repeating helps. Second tip, not one signal. You want to communicate many signals to your team, even if they're redundant, because the value of it is not in the information. Even if they're obvious, they might look redundant, but you want to repeat them to support your team towards the goal, making sure we don't miss that. Third tip I would probably suggest is horizontal communication. We discussed about it in other videos. You don't want to vertically communicate only, you also want to democratically communicate from one team, from one member to the other. Each person should be entitled to send a signal on what are the expectations to reach that goal. Fourth and lastly, signaling over and over again what are the expectations gives a sense of security. We know where we're going and we know how to get to the objective. Fifth and last tip is on priorities. You want here to over communicate priorities. I meet so many teams that don't have clear ideas what is the list of priorities. As a team leader, you have it all clear in your head, but results most likely don't come from you, but come from your team. And you want to make sure that they know what they should be doing first. Differentiate between what is strategic and what is urgent, but this will be part of a separate video. So over communicate, be 10 times as clear as possible on the priorities that the team has, and obviously define it at an individual level. You want it on emails, you want to speak about it in meetings, you want to paint it in walls. Priorities and expectation needs to become the oxygen of your team. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have gone through several blocks to build trust. We talked about safety, vulnerability, purpose. All this make up some thematic workshops I run with teams. If you need support, I'm here to help and we can tailor it to your team's necessity. If you want support on an individual level rather than on a team level, my coaching program is made of 12 sessions with a checkpoint at the 6th session. I use the ELI, the Energetic Leadership Index, which is a powerful tool. Check Forbes. Forbes described it as one of the 10 or 11 assessments every executive and team should be taking. I am quite an expert on this assessment. I can support you there as well. Okay, that's the end of the video for today. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to have fun and smile. 𝐬𝐮𝐻𝐿.